Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now?
Good evening and welcome to the Simply Race Touring Car Championship here at Simply Racing Milton Keynes. Joining us at the start of race number 1, which is all new for season 2. Reece Foreman starting on pole. It's a random grid order, but the seeded groups. So we're just about to start as the lights go green. And no one in particular really getting a great start. I think I saw one of the drivers behind getting a particularly poor start, but there we go. Into turn 1. So really clean through turn 1 then. That's the red car of number 7, which is Callum Cripps, who's defending furiously from a couple of the drivers behind. Oh, and there's a spinner behind. I'm not sure what's happened there. We'll go back to the replay in a second, but we'll carry on through the first half of this lap. Now we've got number 9, which is Michael Epps, putting a bit of pressure on up front, which is on the blue car there. It's hard to see with the camera angles. Number 6, which is Thomas, and who's flashing his headlights as well. So really practicing for British touring cars, Mr. Epps there. Really good defensive line on the inside. He's going to try and force his way up the inside of the right-hander. Interesting circuit here at Poznan. Very flat and fast circuit. It's actually relatively difficult to overtake, but it doesn't lend itself to too many lunges. So really good place for racing. So just been hearing that Reece Foreman did find himself off the circuit completely, and he has been reset back to the pit lane, but is rejoining the action now. As Radtech are asking, yes, we will be giving you some onboard footage throughout today. Our cameraman Anthony is going to be working very hard on giving you the best angles throughout the race. So good battle here then. This is the close battle between 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th, I believe. It's quite hard to see from my position. So still incredibly close as the drivers come round to complete lap 2, and there's some side-by-side action by the looks of things up front. It's Callum Cripps and Mark Winwood. So Callum Cripps had a really, really good start to get up into first position. And very, very strong heat as well. Oh, and that's a bit of a dive there from pod number 9. Great move from Mr. Epps in the yes, in the Force India coloured BMW. So these coloured cars are also being used for the Race Logic Championship, and some terrible camera work has meant we've cut away from the action right as it got interesting. On the inside then, number 8, it's Dane. Dane's been very, very quick in practice. 3 abreast. Then this is the corner I've really struggled with in practice. I need all the practice I can get, but it's a very difficult right-hander there. You've got to kind of hook it up on the inside curb to get it around the corner. Amazingly clean racing so far. I think some of the drivers have taken on board the penalty point system that has been implemented for Season 2. Persistent offending will result in race bans and event bans, and even championship bans for drivers that are being a bit too reckless on the circuit. So halfway through the race then. Yellow colour car there on the outside, number 4. Oh, I thought he was going to make a move there on Mark Winwood. But Epps has taken advantage of an ambitious look. Michael Epps in number 9, a Force Indian coloured car, looking around the outside then. It's going to be difficult for him to kind of stick it out to the outside here because it's quite a tight left-hand corner. Oh, and Epps has lost it! Michael Epps has lost it. I think that was purely on his own. We'll try and get a replay of that in a second. We will go back to that now. So unfortunately, we're just struggling to get you the replay of that, unfortunately. So bear with us. We'll see if we can just double check. So just to confirm for everyone, so who is watching this evening, it is randomised groups based on seeding. So essentially we're trying to split up the drivers that were at the top of the leaderboard last season. So they're all going to be split up into different groups. Within the randomly seeded groups, we'll then be seeing who can get the most amount of points. It's a point scale from 12 down to 1. That will then decide where the drivers would start in the finals. There will be a C group, a B group, and an A group. We're also with some... sorry, coming back to the action, got distracted as I was speaking. There will be promotion between Group C to B, and the winner of Group B will also go into Group A for the grand final. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. If you have any questions, then please let us know. Yeah, just to confirm to Arno, yeah, there is no qualifying anymore. The drivers have all had 10 minutes of practice each. So 2 minutes remaining then of the race. So Michael Epps then now down in 8th position. So I mean, I actually think that's higher than he started. So it's not all bad for Michael, but it is going to be a tough night from him from now on. I'm sure he'll be hoping to maybe get another position or two before the end of the race. But this is some of the interesting racing that randomised grids can give us. So we wouldn't normally be seeing Michael starting from the back of the grid, but for today it does make it a little bit more interesting. Thank you, Arno. Hopefully, I'm glad that it made sense to you. Hopefully it made sense to you as well, Radtech and Mr. Mangine as well. 22 people watching at the moment. Hopefully that will increase as we go on the evening. Obviously, we'll be looking to get a few more on the stream by the time we get to the grand finals itself. It is just the qualifying races at the moment, but there's still plenty of action going on. So I believe we're on board with Lewis Manley at the moment, looking towards Mark Winwood in second place. So this is the battle for second. Not entirely sure if this is going to be the last lap or not. We've got, we're saying last lap in the top left-hand corner, but it very much depends on how quick the other drivers can get there. This is on board with Ben Leach. Ben Leach, who just arrived about 30 seconds before the green flag. and doing incredibly well. So very, very well. I think Ben's got quite a fair amount of experience in sim racing, and it was an ambitious look. So the mark of a man that knows it's the last lap, looking up the inside. So I'm not entirely sure. I'm not convinced that it is going to be the last lap. We will see. There's a terrible lack of a quick frog in tonight's racing action. Yes, we do miss you, Arno. We would encourage you to come back and race with us soon. I know you're coming back in the week, so we shall be seeing you then. So now we're on the last lap. That was correct. So we'll be seeing one final lap of racing. This is the first race of 9 this evening. So 0 minutes remaining, and the final lap still incredibly close. We're looking at Ben Leach, who's looking at Lewis Manley, who's then also looking at the inside of Mark Winwood. Very, very close racing from these 1 Series BMWs. Rear-wheel drive for Season 2. That was very defensive from Lewis, a little bit naughty. Might get a bit of a telling off from the race stewards there. And that's Ben's also lost a bit of time there, which means Dane Oliver is ambitiously looking around the outside of Ben Leach. He's going to try and force him into a mistake, something that Ben refuses to make. And again, Dane goes on the attack. So that's kind of given Lewis Manley a bit of breathing space. Callum Cripps still up front though, 4 seconds. So it looks quite comfortable for Callum, unless he makes a mistake in the last few corners. We're going to stay with this battle until the checkered flag. So I think it's looking like it's relatively settled as we come into the last few corners. These corners are relatively quick, so you'd have to see something very special up the inside of the final bend to make a big difference. But it looks like Callum Cripps taking the victory with Mark Winwood in second, and Lewis Manley in third. Really good race from Ben Leach as well, coming home in 4th position. So we'll just follow these guys around the track as they come back into the pit lane. Bear with us a few minutes as we get the next drivers ready.
finishing grid. Will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now?
Okay, so just to clarify for those of you watching at home, no, doesn't mean that Epps will be in the C race or the B race, anything. It's all about the number of points that they score in 2 qualifying races in the same group. So that was actually Michael's first race starting near the back. He'll actually be moving and starting near the front for this race now. So it'll be interesting to see, whether he can get some good points. If he gets good points, he can either start probably somewhere either in near the top of the B or in the near the back of the A final. But it's certainly not all over just from one bad race. And as we already said as well, you can qualify from the B final into the A final by winning that race as well. So it's not all over. Don't need to worry at all. Can we have cheerleader dancing from the girl behind the desk? Martin, no, unfortunately not. She's very busy giving out drinks and stuff, so it's not really within her remit, that one. And yeah, as Radtek said, well, I'm not going to repeat it. Right, moving on. We're going to just about to start our second race. So we're looking at having Colin Talbot on pole position with Stephen Moffat in second. Ash Miller, our Australian driver, in third place. Lee Connell, fourth, obviously a really good season last time, and be looking to get onto the championship top 3 this time round, I would have thought. Dan Ryan starting in 5th, Chris Daines in 6th, Paul Day in 7th, Alistair Dendy in 8th, Bradley Philpott in 9th, Sam Newland in 10th, and Toby Smalls in 11th place. That's going to be in number 12, though, because a small issue with number 11. It's actually fixed now, but we'll just, for consistency's sake, we're going to be sticking with that simulator now. So, just waiting for a couple of bits and pieces. I'm not sure if I understand the format. So, just to clarify one more time, these guys are all in randomised groups that are that have been seeded. So the top guys are all split up into separate groups. They will score points within their groups. They will basically, those points will then decide which final they're in. So it's a points system from 12 down to 1 for these qualifying races. The number of points they score then decides who they race against in the grand finals. They will be 15 minutes long. These qualifying races are just 10 minutes long. Looks like we're pretty much ready to start race number 2. I'm just going to double check.
Right, whilst Ben is just doing some final admin as we get ready for this second race of the evening. So we've got an interesting grid, I think, for this race. We've got, of course, Bradley Philpott in this group, who, of course, was runner-up in the championship last season. So he'll be looking to get a good start. And we got some returning regulars from last season, a mixture of regular guys and a couple of new guys for this race.
Yeah, so just to confirm, Tuana, we do have the same 3 random groups racing several times. So it's twice, actually, per group. So we're going to have 6 qualifying races now. with the 3 groups each doing 2 races each, and then we'll move on to the grand finals. It's a bit of a departure from last season, but moving our attention back onto the race. Red lights on and green lights, and away we go. So 4 abreast into turn 1, very fast corner turn number 1, Mark, and you've just experienced it all. That's I think that was too many cars going around the same corner once. What do you think,
Yeah,
Mark?
that was 3 cars into the trying to get into the same piece of tarmac, and that was always going to end up with somebody being on the grass, and it ended up with all 3 of them, I think.
Absolutely. I think as first corners go, it's a relatively forgiving first corner, but if you do try and get 4 cars on the same bit of tarmac, it's always going to get a bit wrong. That's a very ambitious move there from number 4, and I think we might see
He's got away with it.
Some penalty points applied there. So number 4, just to confirm who that is, just to double check. We will watch that back to check what happened. That's our race leader. That's our pole position driver, Colin Talbot, who has spun out then. So I believe it was Lee Connor. We're just going to double check. Hearing some reports of the driver in number 8 actually turning in on Lee there. So we'll double check that before we give away any penalty points.
Yeah, so we've got Stephen Moffat's in the lead, followed by Dan Ryan, Bradley Philpotts 3rd, Lee Connell 4th, Chris Daines is 5th. It's looking reasonably close at the front.
Following Dan Ryan in the orange, white, a bit of black and purple as well colour car, the Friction Racing colour car.
Yeah, Friction Racing colours.
Really
Yeah.
under pressure from Lee Connell as they come into, as I really described, my most difficult corner on the circuit. Really trying to close the door there was Dan.
Oh, well, I don't know what happened there. It looked
I'm
like
not entirely sure, but someone is trying to take advantage there. That's number 6, which is Chris Daines. So Chris Daines going on the outside and profiting from that collision. We're going to see if we can hopefully get a replay this time. So that's the replay then. We're going to see if we can get a different angle for you. That was the contact there between Lee Connell. Sorry, what was the other driver? It was Dan Ryan. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So that's probably not the best angle. Maybe outside the car. So I would say that it did look like Dan Ryan may have turned. That's a difficult one, that, isn't it?
yeah, it's a little bit of 50-50, but Dan Ryan was sort of moving right, Lee Connell was sort of moving left. So I think that's
it's a bit of a 6 and 1/2 towards the other potentially. This was the new start of the new season. Everyone wants to kind of get some good results in early doors. So interested to see what you guys think on the stream who are watching. Who do you think was at fault? So apparently the yellow car asked for that, according to Martin Christensen. I want to see the rest of what you've been saying. It's a little bit rude. But yes, just to confirm to Arno, we do not have damage for this season. We are penalising drivers with penalty points on a licence system, and they will get banned from either races or the entire event if they continue bad practices on the circuit.
It looks like we're going to have round 2 between Dan Ryan and Lee Connell here, because Lee Connell's caught right up to the back of Dan here, and he's really pushing to try and get past.
Yeah, there's not much between them, but that's I suppose that is touring car racing. And these guys are getting a lot of sponsorship coverage at the moment. I'm not entirely sure what's happening with the rest of the grid, but it's definitely entertaining for us, that's for sure. So at the moment, Stephen Moffat, who's been absolutely flying in practice, is leading by 3.7 seconds ahead of Bradley Philpott. Bradley's done very well. He's coming up from, I believe it was 8th position on the grid, and 8th or 9th position. He's up to 2nd place, so I'm sure he'll be happy with his performance so far. Chris Daines in 3rd place. We saw him benefiting from the contact between Dan Ryan and Lee Connell. Just on circuit at the moment, we're looking at the battle between number 3 and number 12. So that's Ash Miller and Toby Smalls. This is for 8th and 9th place, so we've really got some good racing going on throughout the field. Some really nice battling. I have to say we're really enjoying the hot pink.
That's a great move by Ash Miller there. It was a really nice sort of, did it over 2 corners, set it up early, and yeah, really clean.
Yeah, absolutely. Planning ahead, and that makes a big difference in racing.
So we've still got Stephen Moffat in the lead. He's got a bit of a gap to, 3.8 second gap to Bradley Philpott. And then in 3rd place we've got Chris Daines. And that seems to be fairly static at the front at the moment. Further down the field we've got this battle here, which is Dan Ryan, Lee Connell, all sort of scrapping in the midfield. We're on board with Alistair Dendy here, following Dan Ryan. And the car behind them, Paul Day, he seems to be catching. He's moved right onto the back of Alistair Dendy down the straight. He's got a run. He'll be trying to go up the inside into this first corner. He's got up the inside, not quite. So Alistair Dendy's braked very late, and he's held it. He hasn't run too wide, so good defending. And here we're on board with Paul Day. Up into this corner, this left-hander here. This is called Devil's Smile, apparently. It's an interesting name for a corner. So it's a really nice, wide, smooth circuit, Poznan. Really good for this sort of car. You can really play around with the car in the corner. You can slide the car quite a lot. And it's certainly producing really good racing so far. So I think these are the closest cars on track at the moment. So this is 4th, 5th, and it's 5th, 6th, and 7th places, and they're starting to spread out again a little bit. For a while, it looked like Dan Ryan was perhaps holding the cars up behind, but he seems to have got into a rhythm now, and he's pulling away. The gap's going up between him and Alistair Dendy. Paul Day is still there in 7th, but he's dropped back quite a bit. Dendy seems to be getting closer to Dan Ryan. I think he's getting a good run out of here. He's up to the final corner, which is a fast 5th gear right-hander. Probably not possible to overtake him going into the corner, but he'll be looking to get a good run out of this onto the main straight. On board now with Alistair Dendy. Dan Ryan in front of us. It looks like it's pretty static down this straight. He's not really gaining anything, so it'll just be a case of see what you can take on the brakes, see if you can close in a little bit. Nice tight line. Get a good run out of here. Oh, very sideways. Dendy's lost the back of the car, and he's off. He's on the grass into the barrier, and that was just Alistair Dendy. So yeah, he just lost the back of the car in the middle of, just coming out of turn 1 really. There we go. Car's going sideways, and he just snapped back. So he didn't get the correction on early enough. And that's the thing with these cars, they're very friendly up to a point. When you go beyond that point, they can suddenly bite. So Dendy, he's not really lost in position, so he's still 7th. He's got Ash Miller just behind him in the blue, white and gold car there. So up and get back into his rhythm. Right, here we've got Sam Newland and Colin Talbot, and Newland's gone at the inside. Oh, that was a very late move by Newland. And I think Colin Talbot obviously saw him coming and sort of just left the door open and allowed him to run through. So well done by Colin Talbot there. I think he did well to avoid getting taken out there. Yeah, I mean, Sam Newland was definitely well over the curb on the inside as he came in there, but he hasn't really lost that much time, actually. He's still there. He's slightly wide coming out of there, and well, he's a bit wild, but he's still maintaining the pace. So here, Ash Miller in 8th place here. He's sort of a little bit on his own. He's dropped back from Alistair Dendy in 7th. And here we've got Dan Ryan and Paul Day running 5th and 6th. Paul Day in the red and black car, following Dan Ryan. Very tight right-hander here, 3rd gear. Really got to try and hold it into the apex. And then out of here, into 4th gear. Sort of a little bit, some drivers are lifting a little bit through there, and then back down to 3rd. And this corner really opens up on the exit, so you can get the power really early. Up to 4th, 5th through this one, flat out. And then here, little dab of the brakes, down to 4th. In here, oh, it looks like Ryan was very sideways through there. He lost a bit of momentum. And Paul Day's definitely closing in. So again, up to the last corner now. Day behind Ryan. He'll be wanting to get a good run through this final corner onto the start-finish straight. And I think Day has got a good run. He's definitely closing slowly on Ryan down this straight. What can you do at the first corner? Too far back to really attempt an overtake. Here's Ash Miller, still running 8th. So Moffat won. He maintained the gap fairly easily over Philpott. Chris Daines 3rd, Connell 4th, and Ryan in 5th.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now?
Hello again, everyone. Sorry, just sorting out a few bits and pieces. Just trying to catch up on what you guys have been saying whilst I've been away. More cockpit views. I've just spoken to our camera man himself, and he will be making sure we put some more cockpit views in for that. To clarify, the next circuit for SRTCC, as Mike said, is Brands Hatch, and it's the Indy circuit as well. What else have we got? Nice cars to race with. Yes, absolutely. We hope so. Hopefully you guys are watching, enjoying watching at home. We'll be more shortly moving on to our third race. This is the first time we're going to see group number 3. So in this one, Grant Lyman will be starting in pole position with Ben Irwin starting behind him. We're actually going to be missing someone from the second row of the grid, Anwar, who I'm not entirely sure what's happened to him. But Steve Boyce will be starting in 4th place, Nathan Burton in 5th, Jordan Thornton in in 6th, Carl Chard in 7th, Calvin Dent in 8th, Jack Ashton in 9th, Shummock, who's a newcomer to the series, in number 10, and David Williams will be starting in 11th place in pod number 12, though. So just consistency, keeping on top of that one. So some discussions about the incident in the last race. Bit off one six the other. You guys can watch it back on the stream, and I'm sure the drivers themselves are watching the back as well. I'm just finishing putting the names in for race number 3. You want me to show you your SR kit? I don't know whether you can see me. I can't actually see the stream computer. So here we are. I'm modelling our new kit. Mark's smiling at me because I'm like an idiot. We now have our Thrustmaster logos, obviously sponsored by Thrustmaster. Presidential Clothing as well. Presidential Productions, who do a lot of the film working here, and also Friction Racing, who obviously team, the esports team, who've been helping us out quite a lot in terms of both stream, in terms of a few skins and various other bits and pieces that at the venue as well. So looks like we're pretty much there. Just waiting for confirmation.
Attention grid, will all non-essential.
Okay, so race 3 of the evening. Drivers all on the grid, just waiting for the green lights. So we've got some fast guys in this race. We've got Carl Chard, who's starting 7th, Jack Ashton in 9th, David Williams in 11th. So there's some pretty fast guys that we know are fast at the back. Look, the red lights are on, and we're just going to go for another restart, I think, there. Some sort of technical problem. So just bear with us a couple of minutes and we'll get the grid prepared and ready to go again. So yeah, we've got some definitely known fast guys at the back. So it should be interesting to see how they can come through.
Absolutely. So, as I mentioned previously, there is going to be a gap on the grid. That's where Anwar was expected to be. But I think he's either running late or given up on getting here. I think we had a bit of a long day today, doing some karting in Club 100 as well. So, but we are about to start. 3 seconds until we get going, and lights are green. Not the best start from everyone. There is probably the best start was number 4. Which was who's that? I can't actually see. That's the yellow car. Not quite as bunched up, this group, into turn 1, which is nice to see. They're not trying. Oh, there's some weird things going on with the cars. Not sure why we're looking at that on the stream, but there we go. Maybe certain bumps were going slightly strange on the stream. So this group not pushing it quite so hard into turn 1, but we have got a driver off. That's second place.
It's Ben Irwin, I think.
Yeah,
I think it was Ben Irwin who ran wide at Devil's Smile.
Ben Irwin will probably be looking to get a good race while starting on the front row, and to throw it off at the second corner will probably be quite disappointing for him. No, not yet.
Someone's gone round there. There's a big axe in the background. That was... Can't quite see who was involved in that, but it's punched a bit of a hole in the field. Yeah, it was a really good bit of car control actually for David Williams. It was well held. And now we're on board with David Williams, so he's following Nathan Burton, who's in 5th place. David Williams, we know, is a pretty fast driver. Got a lot of experience in sim racing, so he's already up to 6th. He started, I think, 11th, so he's got 5 places already. And now he's trying to line up Nathan Burton. It looks like he might have got a run. He's going to get alongside, but probably not through here. It's tight, really tight. Oh, and Nathan Burton got pushed onto the grass there, I'd say, and Williams is sliding around a lot.
A lot of sideways action from David there, but always keeping it on the track and doing very well. So he started in 12th place up to 6th, and that's pretty well a good start to the race. 3 minutes in. He's obviously looking out the back of Calvin Dent's car at the moment. That's the red and black coloured car. Slightly dark navy blue, isn't it? Actually, it's not actually black. So moving a little bit further down the field, this is Carl Chard on Nathan Burton, looking to make a move up the inside.
They're both going past Grant Lyman as well, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. So potentially a double move on Grant Lyman. And Carl's hoping to make a double move for himself as well. I don't think he's going to be able to make it into turn 2 though.
Carl Chard's a driver who was very fast at the end of last season, so it looks like he's carried that speed through, and he's still quick in this the new car that we're using this year. And he's all over the back of Nathan Burton. He's got alongside him into this 3rd gear left-hander. And he's got the inside line. Great move by Carl Chard. Oh, he's on the grass. Well, I think he's going to hold it. So now on board with Nathan Burton following Carl Chard. Just trying to hold on to the back of him. And Grant Lyman just behind in 9th place.
What's that?
And now he's watching David Williams here in the pink and white car. He's now up to 5th. And here we've got Jack Ashton, who's running 2nd in the orange, white and green car, just behind Steve Boyce in the lead. So it's pretty close at the front. Jack Ashton has made his way through the field pretty well, and he's really moving on to the back of Steve Boyce. Bit of a gap back to Ben Irwin in 3rd. So Ashton just creeping up to the back of Boyce. He's sort of have a look at him, just see where he might be a bit slower, see where he might be able to get alongside. He's got a great run here, and they're coming down to this 3rd gear left-hander. Not quite close enough. Tucks back in. Down to 2nd gear there, actually, Ashton through that corner. So that's interesting. It's a split decision between some drives with that 2nd or 3rd. This one is 3rd. All about getting the run, carrying the momentum out of that section down this back straight. And Ashton is very close. He's just got to find a way through to make any way he can make a clean pass. Out of here, through this next right-hander, 5th gear, flat out, into the next left, which is a 4th gear. He's got a good run coming out of there. He's all over the back of Boyce. And now we're coming up to the last corner. Unlikely to be able to make a pass through there, and I thought it's a pretty fast entry. But just try and get a good run out of here. Not too much. He's got a great run. He's got to get him down this straight. Yeah, he's alongside, and you can see the extra momentum he's carrying. He's just moving past slowly but surely. So just pick his braking point, hold the tight line, and great, nice clean move by Ashton there. So David Williams here on board with in 5th place, just behind Jordan Thornton. They can see Ben Irwin in the bright green car up in front. A little wide. Thornton was on the grass there, and I think that's going to allow Williams through. Yep, easy pass. Use momentum. So the question will be whether Williams can catch up to Irwin in third place. He's certainly on a bit of a charge. Thornton's trying to come back at him. He's holding pretty close. Don't think he can get through there. No, not quite. Had a look. And I think they're maybe just catching Irwin in third. Both of them. Yeah, they're definitely closing up on Irwin. So, with 2 minutes to go, so that's probably 2 laps. It's going to be interesting to see if Williams can catch and pass Irwin in that time. Here's Steve Boyce running second, and Ashton has managed to pull away. He's definitely pulled a bit of a gap. And then the gaggle behind is definitely punching up. And Williams is going up the inside by the looks of it into turn 1. Yes, yeah, he's done it. Lovely tidy move by Williams. Past Ben Irwin, so he's into third. Here's a replay. So yeah, taking all the curb, but fair enough. Great tidy move. Took the line. And Irwin's he's hanging on the back of him. But I think we'll see Williams pull away here. He looks like he's really got himself into a rhythm. He's doing some pretty good lap times. Sometimes having a quicker driver in front of you can just help you with your own race, and help you to see how another driver gains time on you in certain places, coming out of corners, and yeah, sometimes it can help you to improve your own lap time as well. So it'd be interesting to see if Ben Irwin can just stay close enough to Williams. And he's sliding through there, Irwin, really drifting the car through that fast fourth gear left-hander. I think Thornton's getting a little bit closer to Irwin now. Irwin sliding the car around again, probably just because he's trying to stay with Williams, and he's really pushing the limit and just drifting the car around. But that does slow you down. It's definitely it's not good for your lap time. Now that is allowing Thornton to close up onto the back of him. He's probably just a few tenths behind Irwin now. And we're on the last lap. So 1 lap for Thornton to see if he can do anything about Irwin and take 4th place. It looks like Williams has definitely got away from these two. So he looks like he's safe in 3rd. So on board now with Thornton. Irwin in front of us in the bright green car. Down to this tight left-hander. 2nd gear here for Thornton. Try and get a good run out of here. It looks like Irwin was on the grass slightly coming out of there. 3rd gear left-hander here. Take as much curb as you can. Try and get a good exit. He's gone. No, too sideways, I think, Thornton. That will cost him quite a bit of time. That could be his chance of getting that 4th place gone. Being this is the last lap, you really can't afford to lose any time at all. Yeah, apparently we've been told that David Williams is definitely looks like he's in the zone in his pod.
Absolutely.
Totally focused, and
he's still wearing his race suit because he's been karting this afternoon. So he's really got into the thing of being in a race driver today.
I did wonder why he was wearing race overalls at a sim racing centre. That seemed a little bit keen.
Maybe he's just playing dress up. We're not sure. He did tell me he went karting, but we're not sure. So it looks like Jack Ashton's going to be taking victory. So that's from I believe from 9th on the grid. So a really good victory there from 9th on the grid for Jack Ashton. Been very quick round here. Steve Boyce coming home 2nd. And I'm sure David Williams will be quite happy with 3rd place as well after starting in last place. And it's quite close across the line, isn't it?
Very close there. I mean, Thornton, I thought he wouldn't catch up with Irwin, but he almost got him on the line, but I think just missed out, probably just by a matter of a few tenths?
Yeah,
it was pretty close to the end.
Just
anyway.
a couple of tenths across the line. So it was 1
and
tenth.
Really close here, but Calvin Dent.
So, Calvin and Nathan, and I think that was Nathan just about able to take the checker flag first.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now?
So thanks for your patience, guys. So just at the moment, just getting the bits and pieces ready for our next race. We've got a reverse of the starting grid for race number 1. So it's going to be Matt Goodgescott, who's new to the series, starting on pole position, again with Rob Hughes, who is also new to the series, on the front row. Michael Epps, who's had well, unfortunately a bit of a mistake here in race number 1, starting in 3rd place. I'm sure he'll be looking to make advantage of the relative inexperience of his colleagues in front of him on the front row. So he's starting from 3rd. There's quite a lot of pressure behind him, with Dane Oliver and Callum Cripps, obviously both very experienced racers, who'll be looking to push him quite hard. Thomas Marciniak also did very well in race number 1, starting from 6th place. We've got Chris Hardwick starting in 7th. The very quick Lewis Manley in 8th position. Ben Leach again having a really good first race, despite just arriving about 30 seconds before the green flag went out. He's starting in 9th. Mark Winwood, who has just been commentating with me just now, he's starting in 10th place, with Reese Foreman starting in 11th. Just sorting out the last few bits and pieces. We will be starting in about 30 seconds or so do stick with us. So Anwar, I'm not sure what happened to Anwar. I think either he's hurt himself karting, or I don't know, maybe he just didn't think he could compete with these guys here today. Who's wearing the race suit? That is David Williams, who we were just talking about him previously. He's been karting today, so that's why he is wearing the suit. He's literally come straight from here, from karting to here. So we're ready to go. We're just going to start the race and wish the drivers the best of luck. Okay, so apologies for that bit of a false start there. Some slight issues with some of the software, but all sorted now. So just on the countdown, drivers obviously get themselves ready for their second race here today. The 3rd time they've been in the pod. Some of the drivers also got here a bit early to get some sneaky practice in as well. So 4th time for some people. 5 seconds left until we get the green lights. And we're green, and looks a really poor start there for number 2. That was Rob Hughes. He's dropping like a stone to the back, and there's a car sideways. It looks like there's been a collision with Rob Hughes. I'm not sure who the other driver was, but we'll go back to that in a minute. That's bit side by side through turn 1. I think the driver's starting to forget about these penalty points. Robbins Racing, though, as we make our way into turn number 2. I think the yellow car on the inside is one to look out for. That's who is that? We're just going to double check. There's a bit of an incident behind. So that's the number 5 car involved there. That's Callum Cripps. He won't be very happy to be that far back. We'll go back to that replay. Okay, so that's the end of it. We're just going to get a little bit further back on it. So up the inside then, that's number 12. That's Reese Foreman who's caused that collision. I think he's going to find himself... Well, we're going to watch it from a different angle. Well, I did get a bit squeezed there, so I think that's probably a bit of racing incident, as some of the other guys are saying in the venue at the moment. I think there's a bit of squeezing from the outside. There's also some contact a little bit further up as well. So I did unfairly attribute blame to Reese there. So I apologise to Reese. Pink monster, says Martin. Yeah, absolutely. So going back to racing, we have got Michael Epps making up for race number 1, leading by 3.6 seconds ahead of Dane Oliver. Matt Goodrich got on his inaugural race in the SRTCC, doing very well, holding himself very well in third place, just 1.3 seconds behind Dane Oliver. Mark Winwood, a bit of a gap between him and Matt, but Callum Cripps is starting to catch up and put a bit of pressure. This is the train of cars that we're following at the moment between 5th place and 8th place. So this is Callum Cripps, Ben Leach, Chris Hardwick and Thomas Marciniak, and I think these guys will probably be entertaining us all the way to the checker flag. So we are seeing quite a bit of pressure from Ben Leach on Callum Cripps. So this is on board now with Thomas. It's an interesting part of the racetrack. The last sector of the track seems to make a big difference, a bit of oversteer there, to the times that the driver's been getting in practice, having analysed quite a few of the drivers as they've been coming around, and that's a mistake there, I believe. Someone's ended up in the barrier. Let's have a look back at that now. Okay, so this is Mark Winwood then, coming through the penultimate corner. Just got a bit of oversteer. I think probably the best thing to do there would have been take your foot off the gas. And yes, you might compromise your exit, but you won't end up in the barrier. So that's going to compromise the rest of his race. I'm sure he'll do his best to catch back up onto the back of the group. However, we are now on board with Ben Leach as he comes up the inside, I believe. There we go. That was Ben Leach up the inside of Callum Cripps. So I think this is going to be quite a good battle for the remainder of the race. We're about halfway through. So Thomas looking around the outside, that really strongly forced move up the inside there. So that is Chris Hardwick in that red colour car. So this is Chris and Thomas racing for 6th and 7th position. We've got that other battle between Ben Leach and Callum Cripps just ahead of us as well, so we'll keep an eye on both of them. Just having a look at the rest of the grid, doesn't really seem like there's any other places that we should be concentrating our eye on. These are the two closest battles on track at the moment. Oh, a bit wide there from Michael Epps around the last corner, but still got a very comfortable lead, 5.5 seconds ahead of his closest rival, Dane Oliver. Oh, and a driver in the barrier. That's number 1. Now, I believe that... let's just double check. I think that's Matt Goodrich-Scott. So he was in 3rd place, I believe. Let's see if we can go back and watch what happened there. So coming into the last corner, Matt Goodgescott gets oh right. So the slight things that you see go wrong there on the inside is where there are some slight bumps that haven't been coded quite correctly. But what basically happened in the end is he got himself onto the grass on the outside and ended up in the wall. So interesting to see that. So unfortunately that's put Matt all the way down in 7th place, though he's just ahead of Mark Winwood, so maybe that's a battle to keep an eye on as well. This is Callum Cripps and Ben Leach, and they're not letting go of each other. 3 and a bit minutes remaining of the 4th race here this evening, almost halfway through tonight's proceedings. So a little bit wide there from Callum Cripps on the outside of the right-hander. I don't think he's really close enough to make any kind of move between either here or turn number 1 as they come across to complete their next lap. So we're just going to have a look and see if apparently there was some incident elsewhere on the circuit. This is Reece Foreman off and around and over the barrier. And yeah, so there's a big mounds of earth. That's probably the best way of saying it. Around the circuit. He's spun out and just gone very quick up that and over the top. And it was no damage, just to confirm it. So no damage, but driver points for misbehaving out on circuit. So that's Mark Winwood there, I think, head of Matt Goodgescott. So Mark Winwood making a mistake a little bit earlier on. And up into 7th place. I'm sure he won't be entirely happy otherwise. So gaps out on the circuit still. So Ben Leach has been able to pull out a gap of 1.2 seconds ahead of Callum Cripps now. So maybe a slight increase in pace there from Ben. He's down to 136.1. Callum Cripps 136.4. Still not a lot in it, but right at the front, Michael Epps is doing a 135.687. So just to remind everyone, there's no tyre wear this season either, so it's all about consistency. So 1.5 seconds, 1.5 minutes remaining of this race. I think we'll see another lap after this one. Matt Goodgescott's doing quite well to keep with Mark Winwood, who's done probably quite a bit more practicing on the sims than Matt. So good effort from him. I'm sure they'll both be very disappointed to have accidents of their own during this race. So this is Michael Epps in number 3. He's all on his own. 134.783 though, which I think I'm right in saying is the lap record at Poznan. Obviously very desperate to make up for the last race. So there was a back marker moving out the way. That was Rob Hughes in number 2. This is on board with Michael Epps. So obviously Michael Epps, who will be racing with Team Hard in the British Touring Car Championship this year. So wish him all the best of luck with that. Obviously he was the Simply Race Touring Car Championship first, so when he has the BTCC title to add to it, it proves how good the SRTCC really is. We've got a second monitor in the venue where the drivers can watch the live stream, and all of them are gathering around it watching the onboards of Michael, trying to find out where the time can be found. So, yes. So yeah, absolutely. There is 119 in the hill climb car. However, the lap record for this particular car is now owned by Michael Epps with that 1:34.783. Now, can he improve? I'm not sure, but it is his final lap now. So a bit of a cruise to victory for Michael Epps. This is probably been the most drawn out race. So it has a few incidents early on in race number 4. So that's obviously caused a few things to occur. And there's now some gaps between most of the drivers. That's probably the closest battle actually, although that's with a back marker. So that's Michael Epps crossing the line. He didn't manage to go any quicker on that last lap, on 35.3, but still would have been the quickest lap anyway. We have got a couple of other drivers in the 35s. So Dan Oliver taking second place, Ben Leach coming home third, Callum Cripps in fourth, and Chris Hardwick in fifth, Thomas in sixth, Mark Winwood coming home in seventh place, Mac Judger Scott in eighth place. This is Lewis Manley in ninth. Reece Foreman still just coming around the circuit now, and this is in the bright hot pink car of number 12, coming home in 10th place. And Rob Hughes has already crossed the line in 11th. So bear with us for a few seconds, guys. We'll get the next race ready and we'll come back.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now? Attention grid, will all non-essential
Okay, so welcome back for the 6th race this evening. Tim Smalls taking pole position alongside Sam Newland. Bradley Philpott's one to watch, starting from 3rd place in the blue colour car. Now that's a relatively clean getaway for most drivers. I don't think there was anyone who had a particularly bad start or anyone had a particularly lightning start. So we're starting pretty much 2 abreast into turn number 1. Oh, there's a little bit of movement on the inside, and that's the number 4 car that's ended up on the outside. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. We will have to come back to that. So lots of rubbing and racing going on as... Oh, is that someone off the track in a straight line? That's gone horribly wrong. That's not entirely sure what happened. That was the green car. So that's number 2. So, yeah, that was Sam Newland.
I wouldn't like to say it was his fault, but he was definitely involved.
Yes, absolutely. We will clarify fault in a bit. We've got some exciting racing going on for the time being, though. But certainly, Mr. Newland involved, and we'll double check. There seemed to be someone didn't brake, or forgot which one the brake was. Yeah,
there was some sort of contact in the braking area or before the braking area, I think. So that was why the crash was such high speed.
Yes. Yes, and there was certainly someone off the circuit, I think, before they even thought about braking. So we'll look back at that. But then we've got a really good battle for the top 3. This is on board with Stephen Moffat. Bradley Philpott ahead, with Chris Daines leading the trio. So I think we're expecting quite a good battle between these 3 drivers. They've been quick all day so far.
Yeah, Moffat's really quick, so he's going to be trying to... He probably wants to catch on to the back of Philpott whilst he's held behind Daines. Philpott's going up the inside here. It's a lovely move.
It was a ballsy move, wasn't it? And it looks like he's managed to make it. He's going to hold him to the outside, and that's going to allow, I think, Stephen to get a good run coming into turn 2.
Moffat's on the grass. Well, Daines has done quite well there, actually, to fend Moffat off, because it looked like he'd lost a lot of momentum. And,
absolutely, I think he had to be quite
past
forceful coming in through the small chicane. I mean, it's not really a corner, but taking the straightest possible line and not kind of expecting Stephen to be lifting rather than anything else. So, a really good move from Bradley Philpott, though, up the inside.
Yeah, really clean move, and he's managed to hold it. He's not really getting away at the moment from Chris Daines. He's really close. Moffat on board with here, and he's just behind, just watching the 2 in front of him. Philpott's taking a lot of curb through there. Anything to get a little bit of a advantage, just shorten the track very slightly. But I'm impressed. Daines is, he's not really dropping back much at the moment. Great run here. Moffat, he's going to close right up to the back of Daines, I think, as we come into this 3rd gear right-hander. Trying to get a good run out of here. Slightly on the grass. So now we're riding on board with Chris Daines. So Bradley Philpott in front of us. Stephen Moffat just behind. Here on board with Moffat again. So they look like very even lap times between these 3. They're both running at a very similar pace. It's probably going to come down to who can make the least mistakes. So further back in the pack, we've got a group of 4 cars here. This is Paul Day running in 7th place. Lee Connell in front of him in 6th. Ash Miller here running 5th, and Dan Ryan just in front of him in the black and red car in 4th.
So just saying hello to the stream again. Just for Martin, because I think Arno said that he had gone to dinner and he'd be watching an iPad, so he wouldn't be able to answer any questions. So I will answer your question for you. The difference between the 1 Series and the Civic is it's...
that's Moffat has lost it.
Wow. Okay, so that's not something we expected. So he's going to struggle to get any position. He's going to have to rejoin safely, as per the rules. Make sure he doesn't get any points.
He's lost a lot of time there. He's down to 8th, so he's lost 5 places. And sort of uncharacteristic mistake really from Moffat that, but looks like he just came in too hot, lost the back of the car, and straight in the gravel.
So the only saving grace for Moffat was that he won the first race, so he's still got quite a few points. It'd be good for him to get as many points as possible now.
Paul Day's gone very wide coming out of the last corner, and Alistair Dendy's just going to cruise past on the straight, and he's going to be up into 6th place now.
So a mistake there from Paul Day. I'm sure he won't be too happy though. He's been working very hard on his racecraft, and I'm sure he'll be doing his utmost to retake that position from Alistair. This is on board with Ash Miller. Coming up to Dan Ryan. The red car in front is that of Dan Ryan. We've got Lee Connell just behind as well. So this is hotting up to be an exciting trio.
Ash Miller's got a good run out of there. I think he's right on the back of Dan Ryan. So whether he looks like he's on the outside. Don't think he can get. Oh, he's trying to go on the outside.
Wow, brave move. Is he going to cut back, or is he going to leave the door open?
I think he might have got a bit of overlap. No, not quite.
Door shut firmly there, I think, by Dan Ryan. But certainly Ash all over the back of the car in front.
Yeah, he's got another amazing run. This is a real fast corner here, so don't think you get through. And then we've got the sort of kink with the third gear right-hander. So difficult contact.
Well, there's a bit of contact there. But actually really held that very well, did Ash. I thought he was going to lose it there. But he's still right on the back of Dan Ryan.
Yeah, it looks like Ash Miller's got a lot of pace, actually. He does seem really quick. You can see he's closing straight back onto the back of Dan Ryan already. So I think he's going to be a matter of time now. So here we're watching Chris Daines, who's running in 2nd place. He's still not really dropped back from Philpott. He's doing a pretty good job. He's holding on to him. They're running lap times. His best lap is a 1:35.8, which is really quite a competitive lap time. He's definitely keeping the pressure on. But he's got to get closer than that. And he's way too far back to try and think under brakes. So it's just a question of trying to keep doing consistent lap times, trying to ease up, get a bit closer to the back of Philpott's car. Well, a slight mistake by Daines there, but it didn't cost him too much time. He's still there, still putting Philpott under pressure. And here we got Lee Connell running 4th just behind. Ash Miller has got through this group. He's got past Dan Ryan, he's in front of Lee Connell, now he's up to 3rd, so he's got some, he's got real pace there, Miller. Further back, we've got Paul Day running 6th. Moffat is recovering and he's now up to 7th, but it's still a long way back, and we've only got 1 minute of this race. In fact, we're now on the last lap, so I don't think Moffat's going to get much better than 7th out of this race. So we've got Lee Connell's right on the back of Ash Miller, so maybe Miller's made a mistake somewhere. Just seeing if he can maybe outbrake him somewhere or get a run and get a good exit onto one of these back straights through this 3rd gear right-hander. Get the power as early as possible. Miller's a little bit wide. He's just hold it on the curb. Connell's got a good line through there. I think whether he's going to be able to get onto the back of him onto the sort of straight before the last corner might be his only chance. Miller's wobbled a little bit, but no, I don't think so. He's not really close enough. You've got to be right on the back bumper. of the car in front to make any move into this final fast right-hander. So yeah, it looks like Miller's going to finish steady, safe third position there. So we've got, we're on the last lap now, so one more lap to go, so a little bit more time for Lee Connell to see if he can force an opening and get past Miller. He's definitely pressuring him. No change at the front. Philpott still leading from Chris Daines. But we're just watching this battle because this is really the only place where there could be a change of position, I think. Two very evenly matched drivers here, Miller and Connell. And I think, Connell really needs Miller to make a mistake, and that could be it. There's a mistake. Miller's definitely slightly. He's lost a bit of momentum. Here comes Connell. This could be his chance. Oh, he's gone on the outside, but maybe he's going to try and go for the cutback. He's going to take a tight line. Miller's blocked him nicely. No. No chance to get alongside or get the overlap. Again, you can see Connell just trying different lines. Miller's a bit wide. Maybe Connell's just trying to take slightly different lines to Miller just to see if he can get the overlap. Just get the car alongside. Just get your nose alongside. But I think it's looking good for Miller. He looks like he's held it so far. Barry, just don't do anything stupid through here. Yeah, a pretty good exit from Miller there. So I think he's going to be safe. He just needs to get through this final right-hander. Philpott has won the race out in front with Chris Daines finishing second. Connell's got a good run. Very good run. Just out of time, so good effort by Lee Connell, but just not enough to get past, so Miller takes third.
Yeah, so less than a tenth as they cross the line there, just 800ths of a second as they cross the line. The driver's going to make their way back to the pit lane. We're going to start getting the final qualifying heat ready, and we've just got 3 more races after the next one, so and we've got the grand finals coming up as well. Do stick with us, we're only going to be 2 minutes and we'll carry on with the racing.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now?
Okay, so as we look towards the final qualifying race this evening before the finals, David Williams starting Shamak from the first time round, starting in third. And it looks like we're ready to go, so there was 2 seconds and we will start the final couple of races. Yeah. So we are off for the 6th race this evening. There's like a good start at the back there, but one of the there's the red and blue coloured car. I'm not sure who it is at the moment. We'll try and find out who it is. One of the cars a little bit sideways. If you see the cars bouncing people down, it's a slight issue with the track itself. Not coded in a horizontal fashion. So it gives that impression of bouncing them down. It doesn't appear that way to the drivers themselves. It just appears to us as spectators.
Jack
so
Ashton
wide is our pole sitter. So that was David Williams off then at turn number 2. Took us back into third place. We've now got our second, the driver started second. So Shamak leading on his first race here with us at the SRTCC.
Yeah, impressive start by Shanak. Jack Ashton was completely sideways through, I think, about turn 2, and he managed to gather it up. I thought he'd gone. And then Williams, who was our early leader, just made that slight mistake, and now he's dropped back to third.
Absolutely. I don't think Williams will be too pleased with that, but he's still got 8 and a bit minutes remaining in this race, and Jack Ashton's certainly looking to put a bit of pressure on Shamak. I think these guys know each other quite well as well. They've been practicing together during the week. Jack giving some tips to Shamak, so whether he'll be happy that he did that or not, we'll see at the end of 8 minutes. A bit of oversteer again.
Yeah, Ashton is pushing. You know, he's really trying to get and Williams is alongside. He's got the inside of Ashton. Oh, that was close.
So a multifaceted battle going on here. This is David Williams getting a good run out of the final corner.
I think he'll have the line here for the. He's got the inside line. You see, he brakes in the right place.
Absolutely.
He should be through here. Oh, very late from Ashton, but no, not enough. He just couldn't defend on that into that tight right-hander.
There was a second there. I thought he might have had it, but I was quite impressed. Very, very late on the brakes by Jack Ashton, but he'll be looking for revenge as soon as possible.
Yeah, good effort by Ashton, but there's no way that's such a long right-hand corner. If you're on the outside, you can't hold it. Further back, we've got Jordan Thornton here battling with Steve Boyce for 5th and 6th.
I think
it looks like Boyce has got the inside here of Thornton.
Good move there by Boyce. Forceful, but not too forceful, I would say.
Yeah, definitely clean and tidy. And so now he'll be setting off after, I think, Colchard. Oh, and Williams is up the inside of Ashton into second place.
So that must have switched back somewhere then. I think we must have missed something going on. But that's David Williams again. So these guys are definitely something to watch out. I think there was a spinner at the back there. I might have missed that. Looked like an orange car to me, but
this is shaping up to be a great race because in 4th place we've got Carl Chard in the black and orange car, and he looks like he's closing up. Great move by Williams. They've gone side by side.
That's a Zonta, isn't it? That's a Schumacher Hakkinen on Zonta. So
absolutely.
That's,
here comes Carl Chard.
Oh, and he's gone round. I think there
Williams
might have been
gone.
helped there. We'll see if we can get a replay for that.
That was literally a case of 4 drivers just really all attacking at once, and somebody was always going to come off second best. Yeah, it looks like Williams just lost the back of the car on his own there. Actually, no contact.
Yeah, we're going to see if we can get a different angle. So he comes around here, doesn't actually touch. No, all on his own, and spins around. So all to play for David. Then he's got a lot of work to do. That's promoted Jack Ashton to the lead then.
Yeah, and Carl Child's now 3rd, just behind Shamak, and he's really attacking quite hard. Chard in the black, orange, white car. He's up the inside here. Definitely nice clean move. I think he's lost the back of the car coming out. Oh, and he's lost it. And he's taken out Shamak as well there.
Spinning. So that's the danger with a rear-wheel drive car. It's not the same as it was last season. You can't just put your foot in and keep it going. You've got to balance the throttle a lot more, be a bit more sensitive to the rear end.
Yeah, and it seems once you get the car beyond a certain slip angle, it's very difficult then to get it back. So
I think some of the drivers are trying to keep their speed while spinning, and actually sometimes it's obviously best to keep it the right way around, and you can see that there's just so much overcorrection happening that the car's just going from one side to the other.
It's too much correction too late. Basically, causes that snapback.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which then spins the car the other way.
But yeah, it's unfortunate for Shamak really, because the other driver obviously put him off. There you go. Lost a couple of drivers to spins. Almost unforced errors, but it's been close racing. So
yes, that sort of left Jack Ashton with a bit of a cushion now. He's got 3-second lead over Jordan Thornton, who's in second, with Ben Irwin third. So yeah, I mean, Williams and Chard have both really shot themselves in the foot and are going to have to fight their way back to the field.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how these very quick drivers that kind of make these mistakes will come back at the end of this race. There's only 4.5 minutes left there, so we're looking at maybe 3 more laps off the circuit. And we're just watching a replay. I'm not sure what this is for. This is number 10. Just Ben Irwin just going wide off the track. Nothing too spectacular about that, but obviously losing a little bit of time there. So up at the front, Jack Ashton lead by 3.1 seconds from Jordan Thornton and Ben Irwin, who was in third place. Obviously, we've just seen him go off the circuit, but there is a big gap between him and Jordan, and also between fourth place behind him, Steve Boyce. Steve Boyce is 10.9 seconds off the race win, so a race lead even, and Carl Chard in fifth. The closest battle.
Carl Chard sideways through there. This is on board with Williams, who's just behind Chard. Obviously, both these drivers have spun once in this race already, but they're both pretty quick guys, and they're having a good battle now.
You can see how hard David's working at the wheel to correct that. Obviously, it also comes down to both these drivers are very, very talented. They haven't had that much practice with these cars coming into this season. I think this is the first time they've probably driven it, both of them. Yeah,
I think all the drivers are still getting used to this new car. It's a lovely car to drive, but it does have very different characteristics to the Civic that was used last season. And it looks like Williams has made a great move up the inside of Chard there. He's alongside, side by side. Still side by side through this fast kink. But I think Chard will have the inside line into this left-hander here. He should be able to just hold his position. Williams is trying to hold it on the outside. Oh, great driving by both these drivers to get through that corner side by side. But Chard has now got the advantage.
It's a lovely, respectful racing from the two drivers. I'd be surprised if Carl can withstand all this pressure for the rest of the race. You're looking at another 2 laps of pressure from Williams. And
Chard's gone wide.
There we go. So as I said, he's gone wide, and David sort of pushes him on the exit to ensure that the move is made. But Carl's not going to let go, is he?
No, I don't think he'll be giving up. He'll keep pressing. But Williams he looks unbelievably quick in this car at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to see what lap times we've. So 35.759 by Williams, which is quicker than our race leader. So quickest driver on circuit then is David Williams. Like I said though, Carl is sticking with him. Just seeing you down the field, if you've got any other close-ish battles, this is probably the closest battle down the circuit. Jack Ashton in the front is kind of cruising.
Williams is off on the grass down the main straight coming out the last corner. He went really wide, and he's lost a bit of momentum, but not as much as I thought he would have done. So
interesting first corner here at Poznan. You have to really get the right line through turn 1. Rebalancing on the throttle with a rear-wheel drive touring car. Just answering questions from the stream. So, Ratek, we've had front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, and next one four-wheel drive. No, I think with either front or rear wheel. But we've definitely got season here. The second season of the SRTCC. We're not going to have any four-wheel drive touring cars anytime soon. The BTCC rules prohibit them, and obviously the Subaru of August that's been made into a rear-wheel drive car. So we'll be sticking with as much real rules as possible.
It looks like Williams is slowly getting away from Chard. Chard's making a few mistakes. He's sort of locking up and sliding the car quite a lot to try and keep up. But look at Williams through there, just drifting.
He's really getting the back end down. He's working very hard to do it, but it seems to be paying him back despite the slide earlier on.
Yeah, and he's obviously trying to catch up to the back of Steve Boyce, who's in 4th place. He can see him ahead of him, but I think we're just entering the last lap, it looks like. So, tall order for him to catch up to Boyce, I think. So at the front we've got Jack Ashton still leading. He's 5 seconds in front of Jordan Thornton, who is another 5 seconds in front of Ben Irwin in 3rd.
Okay, so sorry, whilst we got there's a driver off there. Who's that? That's number 10, which is Ben Irwin. So that's 3rd place. So this has made the last lap that even bit more interesting. So Steve Boyce putting Ben Irwin under pressure for the final lap of this race. He's going to make a move, isn't he?
Yeah, and Williams just behind them as well in 5th. And Irwin's off, and he's given 2 places. So Boyce and Williams both through into 3rd and 4th.
In hindsight, obviously, you should have probably given the position, looked for the cutback, instead of losing 2 positions, really. But unfortunate there for Ben Irwin. He's had a good race, and just one mistake has allowed the other drivers to get back in it, and he might lose another here.
Yeah, Carl Chard is now right on the back of Ben Irwin, so he's just got, this is the last lap, so he just needs to get through this last couple of corners. Trying to make any mistake. Williams looks like he's alongside Boyce there. Just one corner to go. Difficult to overtake into this one though. And I think Boyce has not made any mistakes. Williams has got an excellent run, but no, not good enough. It's going to be Boyce in 3rd.
He's not going to make it. It's across the line. So very well done though. Very well battled back from David. It's gone back into 4th place. It's really damage limitation there for him.
Yeah, he'll be a bit frustrated about making that mistake, but he certainly has got a lot of speed in the car, and good recovery drive, definitely. So Jack Ashton won that race in the end by something like just 5.6 seconds from Jordan Thornton 2nd, and Steve Boyce hanging on to 3rd place at the end there.
So, viewers of the stream, that is the conclusion of the qualifying races. We're just going to take a couple of minutes break to get the grids organised for the finals. We're going to have 3. The winner of each will move their way up into the next one. So join us again in just 2 or 3 minutes time. We'll carry on with the racing. So there you go. Just to clarify, I haven't gone anywhere. We're still here. We're just working out the points to work out who's in which final. So bear with us for 2 seconds.
So currently we're just working out what the grid orders will be for the final 3 races of the evening. These races will be based on the results of the first 2 races. So a little bit of mathematics to be done here, which I think Ben struggles with a bit. But so yeah, shouldn't just be another few more minutes, and we'll be ready to go with our first final race of the evening. So we're just getting ready for the first final race of the first final, you know what I mean? The first of the final round of races, which will be for the drivers in the bottom 10, so the sort of the what we call the C group. They will be going out in a few minutes' time. So, for this race coming up in a few minutes' time, we've got pole position will be Calvin Dent, alongside him, Matt Goodger-Scott. In third place will be Alistair Dendy. Fourth place, Toby Smales. Fifth, Shamak Glodek. Sixth, Grant Lyman. Seventh is Sam Newland. Eighth, Colin Talbot. Ninth, Rob Hughes. And 10th, Reese Foreman. So just restarting a couple of the pods, just to make sure that everything is working exactly as it should be for this race. So just bear with us for hopefully no more than another couple of minutes.
Attention grade, you're all non-essential. Attention grade, you're all non-essential. Attention grade, you're all non-essential.
So guys, welcome back. We're just about to start the first of our finals this evening. This is the C final, the bottom 10 drivers from this evening's proceedings. And we go green. It looks like there was a bit of a jump start there from number 8. We'll just clarify who that was in a second, but that's going to give him an automatic penalty. So as we make our way round the first corner, it's very clean.
Yeah, very clean start. Good. Somebody was going outside turn 1 there. Pretty good. It looks like we've got Calvin Dent still in the lead. Alistair Dendy second. Toby Smells is third.
That was the orange car in the background. I'm not sure who that was at the moment. And there's a sideways car into turn 3. There's some choice language behind us. Oh, sorry, it was turn 2.
I think that was Shamek Glodek who went sideways in the middle of the pack there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there was any contact, but we're just going to see if we can get a replay of that. So this is on, well, just behind Shemek right now. Oh, so he gets a little bit of a love tap there, doesn't he? A bit of a tag, and that's the number 7 car.
Another big crash here. Yeah, looks like that is Grant Lyman who's spun the car, lost control there. So here we go, the replay. Well, straight onto the grass there from Lyman.
And just a quick thing for the guys who completely with traction control off, no stability control. The only thing these drivers are allowed to use is ABS. So just ABS allowed, no traction control. So it does mean if you're happy or throttle trigger happy, and easy to be in one of these cars. Relatively something that you can just.
Yeah, so Calvin Dent is leading. He's got a fairly decent gap from Alistair Dendy, who's under a bit of pressure from Toby Smales in 3rd. Matt Goodger-Scott is 4th. So these look like the 2 closest cars on track at the moment are Dendy and Smales. A bit further back there. Oh, Smales is very close here behind Dendy. He's really putting the pressure on. Bit sideways coming out of there, maybe lost a bit of momentum, but he's on board now with Toby Smales, so Alistair Dendy in front of us. Just seeing if he can close up a bit further. Dendy's looking quite sideways through this section. He's definitely sliding the car around a lot, but pretty quick. He's got a good exit, so he's actually pulled a bit of a gap there on Smales. So yeah, Dendy's using all the track and a bit more through into that right-hander there. He's probably cost him a bit of time. It looks like Smales is moving onto the back of his onto the back of the car. We're coming up to this fast 5th gear right-hander now, before the start-finish straight. Smoke coming off Dendy's tyres as he drifts the car through there. And I think Smales has got a slightly better exit, so he's slowly creeping up to the back, but he won't be close enough for the first corner. Matt Goodger-Scott just sitting there with a sort of fairly static gap there. and got
Mic check. Hello and welcome back to me, I suppose. Hello stream, we're back. I think we ran out of battery. Just commenting on how silly the microphones are, which have green lights when they're running out of battery, which makes no sense at all. So we were halfway through our first final this evening. Relatively good battle, I have to say. It's still close at the front between something's gone wrong. No news at the front. Okay, so something's happened. So we're just going to watch a replay of Sam Newland getting ahead of Matt Goodger-Scott. I think Matt may have gone wide. Let's have a look. Yeah, so he's had a bit of a spin, has Matt, and that's allowed Sam Newland back to the front.
And Alistair Dendy has just taken the lead. So Calvin Dent, I don't know if he made a slight mistake there, but Dendy is now in the lead. Stubby Smells is still there in third place. So I don't know whether Calvin Dent made a mistake, perhaps, but all of a sudden, Dendy was all over him, and he's got straight past. And now it looks like Dent is on the attack, seeing if he can recover. On board with Dent still. Oh, and that's a bit of a lunge. Ooh, that was close. He's got away with it, but that could have been... There's no real way through there. I mean, it's very much one line through that corner. So that was a bit of a brave attempt. And it's not come off. Probably cost him some time, if anything. 5 minutes of this race left, so he doesn't need to panic. There's still got time to regroup. See if he can put some pressure on Dendy. See if he can maybe pressure him into making a mistake. On board with Dent then. Chasing Dendy into the final corner. fast fifth gear right-hander. Important to get a good run out of here onto the start-finish straight. He's slightly wide. Dent just took away grass, but didn't seem to cost him any time. He's still there. And now we come down to this right-hander. It's very, very long right-hand corner at Poznan. Fourth gear, and it sort of tightens up all the way through. Just when you think it's opening up, it actually gets tighter. Very patient on the throttle. Pretty good there from Dent, I'd say. But again, Dendy not making any mistakes at the moment. Smales is still there in third, but he's not really closing up on these two. Dendy's a little bit wide. He's under a lot of pressure here. Dent's having a look up the inside. No, not close enough. We think that Toby Smales has made a mistake somewhere. It looks like he's dropped back. He's maybe been off track somewhere. Here's a replay. Yeah, just running off onto the grass. Does he keep the car pointing the right way? Yes, just about. So, won't it cost him too much? And here we're back on board with Dent. Oh, very sideways, but yeah, he held on to it well, and he's not lost too much momentum either. He's still matching Dendy's pace down this start-finish straight. Back round to turn one. And yeah, so far, Dendy holding up pretty well under this pressure. He's not made any mistakes. But he's not getting away. They've got a bit of a cushion now over Toby Smales, who's dropped back. In fourth place, we've got Sam Newland. Colin Talbot running fifth. Some way back. Really tight right-hander here. Heavy braking. You see the brake discs glowing red. But Dendy's still pretty cool. Dent's having a little look. Probably just trying to unnerve him. Just put him in. Just move around in his mirrors a little bit. See if he can distract Dendy at all. But doesn't seem working. And Dent's very sideways coming out of there. He did well to hang on to it, but it's cost him a few car lengths. And with 2 minutes to go in this race, that could be quite costly. We're hearing that Grant Lyman has had a spin. He's running at the back, but yeah, too much power, too early, and he's gone into the trees. So, never good. We'll have to try and get him out of the wood. Back at the front, Dendy holding station. Dent drop back a bit. Smales in third. All fairly static at the moment. Sam Newland running fourth. Colin Talbot still fifth. Here we've got Colin Talbot running a bit wide coming out the final corner. And here is Matt Goodger-Scott. He's running sixth. Very much on his own at the moment. Reece Foreman here running eighth in the black and orange car. He's just in front of Grant Lyman. Here we are, Grant Lyman. He's running ninth. Rob Hughes here running in 10th position. So this race is spread out quite a lot. It's very much everybody's kind of found their own pace, their own rhythm, and really it's probably the closest of all. He's at the front, but Alistair Dendy is doing a pretty good job of just staying cool. He's not making any mistakes, and I think this is now we're on the last lap, so he's just got to keep it together, I think. And Dent has run off. He's pushing so hard. He's finally run wide. He's kept the car pointing in the right direction, but that is almost certainly it, I think. But he should still finish in second place. So as we come across the line, here comes Alistair Dendy. He takes the victory. Calvin Dent finishes second, and Toby Smales takes third.
So thank you very much to Mark Whitman, who is now making his way over to the simulators for his grand final. Yes, so it's a 15-minute race. We're moving on to the B group. It means, and also the race victory that we just had from Alistair Dendy means he will be racing again, and he'll be racing in the pink colour car of pod number 12. So, guys, we are in the next group in. This is a B group. Now, we've got Michael Epps on pole position for this one, so he'll be very keen to get away first time and get away and pull on a nice clear lead. We'll see if the rest of the drivers can hold on to him and pull him back. It's going to be an interesting race. There are some really quick drivers who've had some upsets along the way. Okay, so hello again to the stream. Just getting the last names into the system for the race, so you guys can see on the overlay who's in which simulator and what position these guys are in as well. So just bear with us for a few last moments, and just to talk you into this penultimate race for this evening. I'll just take a few of the bits and pieces you guys have been commenting on as well. So obviously we're very well aware that Martin can be trolling every now and then, which makes it interesting. I'm not sure why we're talking about American thick burgers apart from the adverts in the NASCAR edition of the Simply Race World Championship. Obviously that was very interesting. Hopefully you guys who tuned in for the Australian one enjoyed that as well. Right, so I've just got a thumbs up from Race Control. Looks like we're ready to go. Bear with this for 30 seconds and then I'll be back and rejoining you.
catching grade, we're all non-essential.
Okay, and lights are green, and the drivers are pulling away for the start of the penultimate race. And we've got a spin on the inside. That's the number 4 car. Just see if we can just check who that was. I think that was Dan Ryan who has spun out there. I think that was all on his own from the looks of things. Might be worth us looking back at that. There's a driver's come into turn number 2. Oh, and a driver wide, 2 drivers wide, out on the grass, both recovered and back on. Oh, brave move on the outside by Alistair Dendy in the pink colour car. Oh, and that was. Oh, that looked like it was Paul Day's fault, number 10. We're going to have a look back at that.
It definitely looked like Paul Day. Took too much curb on the inside there, which flicked the front end out and blatantly took out one of the other drivers. So definitely Paul Day just going for an ambitious dive down the inside that it looked like there. More battles coming on out at the front as we're now on board. Carl Chard now we're looking at with Ash Miller in head. We've got some oohs and ahs coming from behind us. Not sure who that's coming from, but as it does look like we have got someone coming over the hill there.
So something very exciting has happened. Michael Epps is all the way down in 6th place. That's going to make the next 13 minutes quite interesting for all of us.
We have got a replay of Michael Epps actually spinning. If we can have a quick look at that as he comes around now. Lots of curb on the outside, too much throttle, spins it, goes over the mound there. So on board now with Mark Winwood, Lewis Manley just 200ths of a second behind in 2nd place, 1.6 seconds behind in 3rd place. We have Chris Hardwick. Very close battle for the front. If we go on board with Lewis Manley. Coming in, looking, staying on the outside, not going for a move just yet, staying behind as it looks like Mark Winwood goes wide. Lewis Manley takes 2nd just as they are side by side going into the next complex of corners. Lewis Manley being brave and staying behind as the pack behind get very close.
So really good defensive driving there from Mark Winwood. But Lewis, before this race, was quite despondent about his chances with the talent we've got in this race and how far down he was starting. But now he's in 2nd place. I think he'll be really believing that he can make a move and get into the grand final. So still really, really close as we end near the end of, I think this is lap 2. It's one of the drivers going wide there. That's the number 5 car. That's Chris Hardwick, and still managed to keep it on the track and in one condition. Well, in a good condition, I should say. Oh, and there's contact there. That looks like
it's Ash Miller there in pod number 6.
It looked like one of the drivers came across the other. Now I'm just going to see if we can get a replay.
Can indeed replay.
I'm just going to choose a different angle for that. Okay, so Ash Miller on the inside blocks one driver. That driver then goes to the left-hand side And Ash just comes across. Absolutely. And that's caused other chaos behind. I believe that Carl Chard also went off as well. So let's have a look. Yeah, that's Carl Chard off. Let's have a look at Carl. Let's see if we can go a little bit further back on Carl's incident. Okay, so Carl was that other driver. Okay, so it was Carl that he made contact with.
It definitely looked like Ash Miller just didn't see him. Carl with a very late move down on the... was on the inside then, did the cutback, went to the outside. Don't think Ash Miller saw him and just turned straight into him there, causing that. But back at the front with Lewis Manley. Very close down into the run to the first corner on the start-finish straight. We go on board with Lewis Manley. Holding back, looked like Mark Winwood going slightly wide, or just taking a late apex. Seems like the late apex is working out. As we go back, still very close, the top 4 drivers, as Michael Epps making his way back in after his early spin.
Yeah, so that's the number 1 car of Michael Epps at the back of this group of 4. So switching angles of attack then is Lewis Manley. Oh, very nicely held to the inside. That means that's going to push Mark out wide. So Lewis Manley through into the lead then.
Michael Epps.
Oh, Michael Epps
also looking to the inside there. Very brave and ballsy move there, but doesn't seem to hang on as Mark Winwood looking down the outside again.
This is not finished yet then. Is Mark going to make it stick? No, but he's really making Lewis work for that position. Now, top 4 drivers separated by less than a second. This is proper tourer car racing.
Let's go on board with Michael Epps. Let's see what he's seeing as he's side by side now with Chris Hardwick coming into the last corner. Having a look down a move on the inside on Mark Winwood. Doesn't make it stick. Stays in 3rd place.
He did manage to get past Chris Hardwick, so Hardwick's tucked in behind Michael now. Is Mike going to make a move? No, there's still 8 minutes left. He's still got plenty of time. Obviously, that a mistake on lap 1 is obviously potentially going back to haunt him, but I think he's got plenty of time if he just keeps his head cool. It's going to be a good run up the inside. Very late on the brakes.
Michael Epps very late on the brakes. Pushing.
It's a little bit naughty, but I think we got lots of calls for points for Michael Epps. I think it's a little bit naughty, but I don't think there's too much in it. Very late on the brakes, but manages to make the move stick.
I think that's definitely one to look at the end there. But it looked clean, but it looked like a very late dive.
I don't think he really gave Mark much choice other than to stay out wide, and I think potentially maybe if Mark saw it coming a little bit early, he could have maybe cut back and left Mike out to dry on the outside, but
could have been. But Michael Epps definitely the one to look at now as he's closing the gap on Lewis Manley for 1st place as they come into the final section of the circuit. Just under 7 minutes remaining of the race. So Michael Epps looking round the outside into the last corner. Not a place you'd really overtake, but as we go on board, looks like he's got a great run. Lewis Manley defending hard, taking the inside line, holding in a nice defensive line into the 1st corner. As Michael Epps goes around the outside. Lewis Manley not giving up, side by side around the 1st corner, holding off Michael Epps. It's absolutely fantastic racing to see as they're side by side coming now into the 2nd corner. Lewis Manley round the outside, absolutely fantastic move, side by side round the entire track. Absolutely fantastic. Michael Epps with the inside, closes the door, holds on to 1st place. But let's see if Lewis Manley's got any more moves to give Epps.
I This has allowed Chris Hardwick to get on the back of the top two drivers as well. So Chris, in the friction coloured car, number 5, is looking to have a bit of fun with these guys. Lewis has done very well so far to stay with Michael, but is he going to give him a bit too much of a chance to get that legendary Epps pace on?
It does look like Michael Epps is slightly opening the gap between himself and Lewis Manley in second place. But Chris Hardwick very close behind now in third place, looking to close that gap.
So we're a little bit further back. This is a nice battle here between Ben Irwin and Dan Ryan. We're also going to make sure their sponsors are happy with their airtime as well. So let's have a look at these guys. 4.5 minutes remaining. A little bit of dust kicked up from Dan Ryan's car. And we should see, hopefully, a move here. It's not into the first part of this complex, maybe into second down the inside. No, so Ben Irwin's going to stay out wide, maybe going to try and cut back. Dan is driving relatively defensively everywhere. It's possible that Ben's got a bit more pace than him at this stage of the race, but Dan, defending very well, keeping behind on a little bit of a wiggle. From that wasp-coloured car, a waspish car, from Dan Ryan. So just looking at the timings now that Epps has got out front, we're now seeing a 1.7 second lead between him and Lewis Manley. So all things being well for him, he will be staying. Will go into the A final and be in the number 12 car. Lewis Manley still under pressure from Chris Hardwick though.
It does look like the two of Dan Ryan and Ben Irwin have slightly caught up to Paul Day. Don't know if he made a mistake anywhere, but the orange car there of Paul Day currently running in 5th. Seems to have definitely been caught up by Dan Ryan and Ben Irwin.
Drawing my attention to the comments on the stream, we've gone back to talking about 24-hour races again, as if we haven't had enough conversation about 24-hour races. There has been a decision on the next 24-hour race and what circuit it will be. You're welcome to speculate as much as you like, but we're not going to tell you what it is. For those who say Nordschleife, that's the only thing I'm going to confirm. It's definitely not the Nordschleife. As Dean Prescott said, it is a bit too much for 12 pods, maybe in the future, but we'll keep an eye on that. Nordschleife is obviously very epic with the BLN 24 there, but that's with huge numbers of cars and lots of different classes as well. So you are welcome to have a look. Ooh, Ben, please, Radtech, let me know what you're thinking. I need to tell you now. I'm not going to tell you today. It will probably be within a month or so. We'll tell you some more about the 24-hour. But at the time being, we've got 1 minute and 40 seconds, so we're going to have another lap after this one. Well, maybe even 2 laps after this one, because Epps will have already crossed the line at the moment. It says last lap in the top left-hand corner of your screen. I don't believe that's actually going to be the case.
The gap between Dan Ryan, Ben Irwin and Paul Day has definitely closed, with Ben Irwin getting very sideways into the first corner there, holding on to 7th place, and it looks like that has paid off for him with a good run into the second corner right behind Dan Ryan now. Paul Day actually running about half a second slower than these two behind him, so the gap definitely decreasing as we go on board with Dan Ryan behind Paul Day. behind Dan Ryan. Ben Irwin having a look at the action, see what's going on, holding back to see if Dan goes for a move, which he does, which causes Ben Irwin to get right behind him now. As the looks at Ben having a look down the inside there. Doesn't quite get it as we're now going to this third gear right-hander. Onto the straight, Ben Irwin with a great exit. Having a look down the inside. Dan Ryan closing the door on him there. Again, very close racing from these three as they're coming to the final section of the circuit.
A big kicker oversteer there for Ben Irwin. Managed keeping it in the straight line though. I think we are still having one more. Oh no, we are finished. We are finished. So Michael Epps is taking the victory. Rose Manley second, Chris Hardwick in third. And we're going to maybe see a change position on the line.
It's very close. Just can't get the legs on him.
Unfortunately, Ben would quite have enough space to make that move. But I think if he was to continue, he might even be able to make it now. Oh, contact after check-in. Although it's all fine, all the drivers are carrying on.
Carl Chad going very wide there after the checkered.
So, guys,
who's
time
that?
is now.
Who's
This is...
there? We've had someone crash, so could be looking at getting some points there because no crashing is allowed after the checkered.
So, who was that then? If we just have a look at that. That's,
we've got another one. Tomaz as well. Looks like he's taking a spin after the checkered.
Okay, so penalty points there for those drivers. So, drivers... team, if you bear with us for 2 seconds, we're just going to get the grand final ready for you.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now?
Sorry. Okay, so we're just getting ready for the final race of the evening. This will be the A race. So this is the really top guys who've performed best so far tonight. So we will have on pole position Jack Ashton. Alongside him on the front row, Bradley Philpott. In third place will be Callum Cripps. Steve Boyce is fourth. Fifth position is Chris Daines. Sixth, Stephen Moffat. Seventh, Jordan Thornton. Eighth, Dane Oliver. Ninth, Ben Leach. 10th, David Williams. 11th, Lee Connell. And 12th, and scraping into the final tonight, Michael Epps, as a result of his win just a moment ago in the B race.
Attention grid, we're all non-essential. Attention grid, we're all non-essential.
So here we are on the grid, just waiting for the lights. Just making sure all the pods are primed, ready to go, making sure there's no technical issues. Ben's running around a little bit, just to make sure we're ready to go. So Jack Ashton on pole with Bradley Philpott alongside him. Can Jack Ashton continue his blistering form tonight and take this final race win of the evening? We will be finding out. Here are the lights. And green light, and it's a bit of a slow start by everybody. Someone's driven straight into the grass, could be a problem there, but it looks like Ashton's made a good start, fairly row by row. Oh, very wide at the back. So Ashton, Philpott in the front.
So at the back, I think Ben Leach had his wheel turned 360 degrees to the left, so that was the Force India colour car at the back, number 9, so that's why he's so far down. Good battling through the first few corners though.
Yeah, all very clean and tidy, but pretty forceful as you'd expect from these top drivers. They're all staying out of each other's way. There's a lot of dicing going on in the pack. But at the front, still Ashton, Philpott. Third place, we've got Callum Cripps. All contact in the middle.
So
Two cars spun round there.
Yeah, that was David Williams. And the number 7 car, that's Jordan Thornton. So not the best of starts for David and Jordan. I'm not sure what happened there. We're going to see if we can get a replay of that as well. Okay, so we're struggling to get hold of that replay at the moment, but we'll come back to see if we can find that a bit later on, because there's some good battling going on further up the field. We're going to join the battle for the lead between Bradley Philpott and Jack Ashton.
Yeah, it's really tight, this front group. They're all just bunched together. So Ashton, Philpott and Cripps all nose to tail at the moment. Cripps slightly wide there in the final corner, just kicking up a bit of dust. And then we've got Dane Oliver in fourth, and he's under a lot of pressure from Stephen Moffat, who's in fifth. And here we are watching Michael Epps in the pink and white car.
All the way up to 7th place already, and just one lap gone. He's obviously looking to push on for a podium, would have thought.
Yeah, he's sort of a recovery here. I mean, Epps qualified into this final, but obviously started 12th, so he's doing a good job so far.
So lots of battles for us to keep an eye on. There's a battle in the back of our picture at the moment. There was the friction colour car, and there was another one. It's the blue car. There we go.
Yeah, so Moffat, Daines and Dane Oliver here, all as a little pack. So Chris Daines in the orange, white and black car, just behind Stephen Moffat in the blue and black, white. with Epps just behind them in the pink.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is the kind of stuff that Epps will be really looking to make the most of, picking his way through traffic and waiting for other people to get involved in incidents. Now, there's a lot of squeezing going on there, and I think Epps has kind of made the most of it, moving on the inside. Oh, there's a bit of side-to-side contact.
Dane Oliver was totally sideways through there. I did really well to hold it and not spin the car. Epps
Epps has lost out.
That's Lee Connell, is it, in the silver car, who's come through and taken advantage.
It was really close racing then. So after all of that, Epps has moved up to
3 abreast into the final corner.
Oh,
Dane Oliver is out. Oh, he's spun out.
There was definite contact there between David Williams and who was the other
Dane
guy?
Oliver, I think.
Dane Oliver,
who got spun round, yeah. So that's left Jordan Thornton here. We're looking at a long way down. So back at the front here, Philpott has got into the lead somewhere. He's passed Jack Ashton, who's now second. Cripps is third. But Ashton is all over the back of Philpott here. And in fourth place, Stephen Moffat is closing in as well. Moffat has got past Cripps there. Looks like Cripps made a bit of a mistake. And I think Philpott now is trying to break away. He's trying to stretch this front group apart. Now that he's got into the lead, he's going to really be pushing hard here. This is Cripps. Moffat goes around the outside of Cripps into that corner. Absolutely brilliant driving there.
Okay, so this is a replay of Bradley Philpott going around the outside of Jack Ashton at turn 1. So really, really, really close. And somehow makes it stick.
Fantastic move, that is. Absolutely brilliant.
So in response to Dean, no, Philpott didn't but nudge his way past this time. He actually did it very cleanly around the outside of turn number 1.
Michael Epps now he's got into 5th place, so he's got through that couple of cars. Now he's got to go across that gap to Callum Cripps in 4th.
Yeah, absolutely, and Stephen Moffat as well, who's been very quick all evening. A couple of mistakes, so I don't think it's over yet for Bradley Philpott. All of the top 5 drivers have been very, very good this evening. All of them keeping on form and very quick lap times. You might notice some of the lap times are a bit slower in the final. We have reversed the track conditions back to green, which means there's not a lot of rubber down. So if you see a lot of sideways action, that is why. So 2 drivers back on second. I think that was a case of Stephen following Callum off the track. It's very easy, isn't it, to follow the driver in front of you? Yeah,
definitely. It's easy to get distracted. I think what's happening here is Philpott's really pushing and trying to break this group apart by sheer pace, and they're pushing so hard just to stay with him that mistakes are creeping in. And all the time Epps is there, and you just know he's going to be closing onto the back of Callum Cripps. The pink and white car there.
So 3 tenths of a second separate Callum Cripps and Stephen Moffat. I think this is going to be one of the ones to watch out for. Obviously you got Epps catching. I'm not sure how quickly he's catching. Let's see if I can find out what his last lap was in comparison. So it was 8 tenths of a second quicker than Callum Cripps. So we can expect to see Epps creep on the back. And this is a good move up the inside from Callum. Bit of contact, but nothing that wouldn't be allowed in normal touring cars.
Yep, normal bit of nudging there. But this is all slowing them both down. I think Cripps could possibly go faster if he could get past Moffat, but it's easier said than done. And now Epps is right on the back.
You might also see that Cripps is using his headlights to distract Moffat. It's a trick that I know that a lot of touring car drivers use, but Bradley Philpott's also been using it earlier on in the race as well.
I don't think that works on these fast guys.
Yeah, it's worth a shot though. If there's any hundredth of a second you can get from flashing your lights, then it's worth doing. So Epps right on the back of this battle. This is the top 5. Just under 7 minutes remaining. And the drivers are about to cross the line to finish the end of their 4th lap and come on to their 5th.
So on board with Epps here onto the start-finish straight, trying to get a good run out of here. It looks to me like Cripps is, if anything, got a slightly better exit there. He's certainly, Epps is not catching. Hard on the brakes into this long, tightening right-hander. Epps still right there. He's just trying to have a look around, probably just put himself in the mirrors, move around the mirrors, just so he can distract Cripps a little bit. He's gone for out-braking, move up the inside. Oh, he's got through. He's held it. Yes. No. It looks like Cripps is alongside. He's got the inside line. Well defended by Cripps. Epps will have to try again. So if Epps wants a podium, he's really got to get past Cripps quickly. And then, because at the moment, they're slowing each other down, these two, and Stephen Moffat is pulled away a bit. Yeah,
absolutely. It's 2 seconds between Cripps and Moffat now. So, as I said, if Epps or either of them want a podium, even they're both going to have to maybe start working together.
Cripps is a bit wide. I think he's opened the door. And Epps is alongside him. He's got the inside line for the final corner. So he should get through here. You can't go any outside of this, I don't think. No, Cripps sensibly drops in behind. See if he can get a better run out of the corner. He's got alongside. Side by side down the start-finish straight. And he's got his nose in front. And he's got the inside line. Epps is trying to go around the outside. This is very difficult indeed. He's doing it. He's still there. He won't give in. And Epps has done it. He's got right around the outside. Unbelievable. And it's all going off at the front. Philpott, it looks like he's dropped back, and it's Ashton and Moffat. Moffat is all over the back.
This is a replay of the lead change, I believe. Okay, so forceful move there from Jack Ashton's. It's very well done by Jack, you could say. But hang on, but after that there must have been something else, because Jack's now down in 3rd. Moffat in 2nd. And I think for a bit Moffat was leading, but we've missed it whilst watching Michael Epps go past Callum Cripps.
Too much good racing for us to watch. Look at this front 3 now. So Philpott, Moffat, Ashton, absolutely together.
And then
Ashton very, very wide. He nearly lost the back of the car coming out of there, and Philpott's is defending quite noticeably now from Moffat. Moffat looks like he's got some real pace. In fact, Moffat's alongside Philpott down the start-finish straight, and he's got a better run, and the momentum is just carrying him past. He'll be well past by the corner, I'd have thought. And Philpott drops in behind. We've seen Philpott go around the outside of somebody early in the race. Here on board with Ashton. Very, very close. Philpott's on the grass.
I'm not sure if there was any contact there. I don't actually think there was. I think Jack was going wide on his own anyway, but really hard racing, and everyone's diving in. There's contact.
We'll need to have another look at that, I think.
I think so, yeah. There was a hint of contact there, but I'm not entirely sure. Some people saying yes, there was contact around us. Some people saying he went all on his own. So we will see if we can get a replay. So that is a bit of contact there from Bradley Philpott. Oh, sorry, it was Jack Ashton. Apologies, yeah. So that was Jack Ashton causing that collision.
So now we're back here live. Ashton is in the lead. Callum Cripps is second. Epps and Philpott are banging doors. Epps has pushed Philpott to the grass, and Epps is in the tyre wall. It was very, very aggressive there by both drivers, and somebody was always going to come out of that second best. And it looks like Epps' race is pretty much over. Now Philpott has lost a lot of time, and he's got Lee Connell, Ben Leach, Chris Daines all queued up behind him. Connell's having a look up the inside into the first corner. And an absolute freight train behind him. So Connell, Ben Leach.
I'm not sure we even know what's going on now. I don't think Bradley and Mike can be too happy with each other after that. I'm not entirely sure whose fault it was, really.
It looked like extremely firm touring car driving to me.
Let's do it.
We'll have another look at that incident between Philpott and Epps after this, after the checkered flag, because we just want to follow this battle for the lead between Ashton and Callum Cripps. So Ashton's been leading for a while now, but Cripps has driven a great race, and he's fended off a few attacks, and he's still right there, very close to the back of Ashton, and this is the last lap. So just a few corners left now. Cripps is on the grass, he's gonna, oh no, he's lost it. He's lost it, and this is on board with Philpott. And he's gifted second place to Philpott there, and here come the freight train. This is on board with David Williams, who's running sixth. So that looks like Ashton is going to win this in the end fairly comfortably.
That's it.
So that is it, a great race there, and Ashton comes through to win. Philpott finishes second, Lee Connell an excellent third. And here is the replay, so this is what everyone wants to see. This is Philpott in the green car, in front of Epps in the pink and white car, and Epps comes up the inside, he pushes Philpott onto the grass. It's a difficult one to call. Well, you can make your own minds up about that. I think there's a lot of differing opinions being expressed about that here. Very difficult to say whose was at fault there, but I'm sure everyone will have their own opinion.
They didn't see that. She let that one slide, seeing as they didn't see it.
So lots of differing opinions on the chat. So we've got Epps' fault from Radtech, Dean Prescott, no one giving up, but Brad could have come pulled out of it. Yeah, I think it would be very harsh to penalise either driver for that move. It was a very forceful move from Epps on the inside, and maybe Brad could have backed out a bit earlier, but I'm sure we'll hear more from Brad afterwards. But your top three drivers this evening: Jack Ashton taking the victory, Bradley Philpott in second, and Lee Connell in third. All of that said, we have to see if there are any penalties for Jack Ashton. So guys, if you're still watching the screen, this is the contact between Jack Ashton and Stephen Moffat at turn 2. The race controller is deciding whether or not to penalise him. Let us know what you think. Okay, so guys, this is the incident between Bradley Philpott and Michael Epps. So Michael Epps in a pink colour car, making a very forceful move at the inside. Okay, so this is a previous corner where Bradley made the move on Michael. I think the decision from everyone is no one can agree on anything, and a bit of rubbing is racing, but really good entertainment from these drivers this evening. So I want to thank those guys for giving you the action, and thank you guys for tuning in. And we will now be giving out the podium, but unfortunately we don't have the camera available tonight. So Jack Ashton will be receiving a penalty for his contact, taking out Stephen Moffat, which means the race winner is Bradley Philpott. Lee Connell in second, and Ben Leach in third. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your Easter weekend, and take care.